Good morning. Welcome again to Morning Devotions, and thank you again so much for our time together. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. We're looking forward to seeing all of you in services today. And for the next few weeks, I'm going to be dealing with something that all of the college students need to be a part of. So bring all of your college friends as we deal with the confrontation of philosophy with the gospel. It's a great, great study. But right now, let's deal with another confrontation that we see in the world today. The confrontation of extreme grace. Is there such a thing? Now, I struggle with people when they say we must teach grace in balance. There's nothing balanced about grace. Grace is an attribute of God. Everything about God is infinite. Just like faith cannot be balanced. I mean, faith the size of a mustard seed can move a mountain. There's nothing balanced about that. Have faith in God. All things are possible. There's nothing balanced. The mercy of God, the love of God, there is nothing balanced about an attribute of God. Everything about God is infinite. Read extreme. Now, the question is not in the truth of God's Word. The question is in the application of God's Word. And when people begin to say to us, well, it doesn't matter how you live because of grace. You can get drunk on Saturday night and go to church on Sunday morning. You can be sleeping with your girlfriend and still go to heaven. They say all these new things today about drinking and sexuality, and it seems as the new generation that believes that you can have a little spirituality, not Christianity, a little spirituality to assuage your guilt, and you can still have your premarital sex, your extramarital affairs, your smoking, your drinking, your drugs, and everything's okay. And when you talk to them about it, people look at you and say, don't put your rules on me. I'm not putting my rules on you. I'm putting Bible rules on all of us. Now listen to what Paul, the grace preacher, says in Hebrews chapter 12. Make every effort to live in peace with all men and to be holy. Without holiness, no one will see the Lord. Oh, that's not, no. But see what he says next. See to it that no one misses the grace of God. Now, grace and holiness are not antithetical. Grace and living a holy life are not antithetical terms. The same preacher says, do not miss the grace of God. One sentence before says, without holiness, no man shall see God. Now, brothers and sisters, grace is a beautiful thing. It's because of the grace of God we have everything in our life. We don't deserve anything. But we respond to that grace. As Paul says, that grace has an effect upon our lives. Paul teaches us that grace tells us to say no to ungodliness. When we have received the grace of God into our lives, not a little spirituality, when we have received the grace of God into our lives, it changes us. And we make every effort, there's some effort on our part, we make every effort to live a holy life. Now, I can't even imagine standing up in most places and talking about living a holy life today. People would almost just laugh you out of the auditorium. Because holiness is a word that's never talked about. Sin is never mentioned. Holiness is never mentioned. We desperately need a revival among the people of God today. Because honestly, I'm not sure a lot of the Christians going to church today are even born again. I think they have a little spirituality. I think they have a little religiosity. As Paul would say to the church, the people in Athens, he said, I can see that you're very religious, but they weren't saved. Now, brothers and sisters, please, we are saved by grace. Let no one ever take that truth from you. But after we are saved by grace, then by grace, we make every effort to live a holy life. It does matter how we live.